Hey YouTube, what's going on? It is a cold day, hence I'm wearing a coat. It's about, this first thing this morning, it was about 0 degrees. So we're trying to get the shop warmed up a little bit, but it's just still a little chilly in here. So today we are working on this tabletop. This needs some breadboard ends, and we're gonna show you this jig we built and how that works, how it speeds up your process, and hopefully you guys can get some ideas off of this and help you on your next project. So we're gonna get rolling on that. Hey guys, just wanted to show you this jig that we've had for a little while. We use it on all our tables that get a breadboard end. We just have a Bosch router here with the plunge system, and then it has preset stops here. You have this thing can spin around and you can play around with different settings there. We just built this out of a simple piece of plywood, took a bandsaw and cut slots in here. Doesn't have to be anything fancy or pretty. And then that allows you to basically move your fence depending on how this works. Good for, I mean, you can use it for other stuff too, but we use it to cut the rabbet or the tongue basically on our breadboards. So you can adjust that fence. Flip it over here and show you. So we have this hooked up to our Festool dust extractor, and so we do basically a 2-inch tongue here, but obviously I'm only running I believe it's an 1.25 inch diameter Freud bit. But you can't take that all in one pass. So we built, basically our solution was we just built this little fence here that has like a 1/2 inch dowel, just slides in there. And so you'll make, what we've done here, we've taken the first pass, and then what we'll do is we'll pull that out, and then that kicks it over. And that's our set width. But we just drilled a hole in there, so we still have our dust collection that goes into there. So it's really pretty simple. Once you get it dialed in, we just lock it down, and we pretty much use the same, at least for our tables, everything's the same. So that's pretty straightforward. Just through a handle here on the other side to see how good control. It's plenty wide. Sometimes we'll just hang on to the router, just depending on how it's working and whatnot. But so we've made what we do. So I'll spin that. Basically, I zeroed it out on this top setting, and then I know how much I'm dropping from there. I can dial it into what I want. But these I believe are an 1/8 inch increment. So we're basically going about a little over 2. But I'll plunge to the first step, make a pass, and then flip this, go to the second step, make that pass. Then I'm pulling out my spacer here and going back to the first step, and then making that fourth and final pass. So basically I make 2 passes with the block in, and then 2 passes with the block out, each varying the height. But like I say, you can dial that in to however, depending on the thickness of your piece, your tabletop, that gives you options to determine how thick you want your, basically your tongue and groove, I guess. But this is just some spruce. We milled this for a client of ours and then dried it, and had sentimental value to them. It came out of their backyard, and they had planted it a while back, and we've had some dry summers here, and that just proved to be too much for this tree, so they wanted to turn it into something that they could still utilize, and have that as part of their furniture. So it's kind of cool when you have the story behind the wood. But anyways, we're working on that. So I've got the bottom. You can see here we've got the bottom cut, and I'm still working on. I may go a little bit deeper. I need to figure out my specs for sure, but we'll probably make maybe one more pass. I wanted to kind of see how this looked and visualize it, and then just I need to do some math and figure out how to split that, how I want to break that down. But just wanted to show you this jig. Let's see if we can get some video of it in action. But like I say, we've cut 2 inches wide here and just right over a 1/4 inch deep. So now we've made the first pass here. Now we'll make first pass or third and fourth pass to get us 1/4 inch deep, 2 inches wide. So there you can see we took down that lip that was there. Now we have a flat tongue, 2 inches wide. Like I said, I need to do my math a little bit better here. Check that out. But I think that needs to be, we'll probably make that just a touch thinner. Trying to get the ratio split between, you know, you'll have your groove that comes over this. You don't want to make those too thin, but you don't want to make your tongue too thin either. Figuring out what the right ratio or combo is there. you can see, doesn't take long. Cut that out. You can see, oh, we have a little bit of lip there, but we can clean that up with a hand plane or chisel really quick. Block, a low angle block plane. That cleans that up really nice. But that's the long and short of that jig. Once you get it built, it really speeds this process up. We built several tables just running. Basically, we would clamp a board onto the end of the table to use as a straight edge. And it worked okay, but probably the biggest thing is you want these shoulders here to line up so that your breadboard end piece, you know, seats the same on both ends. And so that was the tricky part, is just getting those lined up. But with that jig that's running off the end of your tabletop, and so that mirrors exactly the same on both sides, so you get that shoulder to line up a lot better. But like I said, it definitely saves time. That jig probably took, I don't know, 20-30 minutes to build, especially just since I was figuring it out. But basically, I mean, like I said, it's just about not quite a foot wide and 19 inches long. We just cut those slots in there. There's a carriage head bolt on either side, and then it comes up to just some wing nuts and a big washer. This handle we just cut out of hardwood and screwed from the bottom. Really pretty simple. It took a little bit to figure out all the dust collection and whatnot, but that is really handy because you're removing a fair amount of material, and so it can make a mess in a hurry. But we've got our Festool dust extractor there. It does a real good job of collecting all of that. But hopefully this helps somebody figure this out, or give them an idea how to speed this process up, because it can be intimidating to do the breadboard. Now we got to lay out all our tongue. So basically what this does is helps keep your table from warping. The width of it, you know, it's easy for especially wider tops will have a tendency to cup or bow on you. So what we're gonna do here, this is our breadboard basically here, and I don't know, I just sketched out a rough deal. It's not gonna be that drastic of a curve, but this will get a groove on this face right here, and will basically slide on. But the thing is, it doesn't. So basically, we're gonna cut like 3 to 4 inch tongues. If you can, there'll be like a 3 or 4 inch tongue, a gap, 3 and 4 inch tongue, gap, 3 and 4 inch, 3 to 4 inch tongue. So basically you're alternating it, and this piece does not get glued on solid, because this needs to move the width of your grain. That's a issue a lot of people run into, is they try gluing opposing grains together, and wood does not move very much lengthwise at all. It's very stable lengthwise, but widthwise, as you go from the summer humidity to a drier winter, that's going to the width of your panel or tabletop, whatever it is going to fluctuate. And so you have to allow for movement. If you glue these two pieces solid together, something's gonna pop sooner or later. It's just gonna break on you, because it doesn't matter how well you glue it, the force of that wood moving in and out, it may be, something like this, may be, 3/16 or a quarter of an inch all together. So you're gonna have anywhere from 330 seconds to an eighth. That would be extreme. We kiln dried this material, and so some people say, well, it shouldn't move. Well, it shouldn't move extremely, but there is going to be some movement. It's just the nature of wood. So this is all right around 10%. We just had a bunch of snow right now, and so the humidity is a little higher, but that's why I'm wearing a coat. It's not super toasty in the shop right now, but that allows you, this design allows for that wood movement widthwise, and so it'll get pegged. The tongue and groove gets pegged together. The center one will be solid on those tongues. You have that tongue sticking out, and so there'll be a peg running through the groove part, and then the tongue, and then back into the other side of the breadboard. The outside two will be slotted. The hole for the peg will be slotted in the tongue part. If I can draw this here real quick for you. So we're gonna have a tongue here, and basically we're gonna have a slotted hole. That's a very crude sketch, but then this will have a hole. There will be a peg going down into this, and this will be solid in here, but this slotted hole will allow for movement, and obviously that's exaggerated. It doesn't take much, but then we'll do another one here, slotted hole, one in the middle. That's not middle, and that one we can leave solid, and that will help keep everything centered. But if you don't slot these and you just glue the whole thing solid, something's gonna give. But because this is cross grain, that keeps our tabletop flat, is what we're shooting for. So if you're working on a tabletop, you want to do like a farmhouse table and do the breadboard ends, like I said, hopefully this jig gives you some ideas, way to speed up that process to build your breadboard ends. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.